The following training is for the LaPOST Registry Participating Organization's Registry Administrator. This module will show you how to add a new user to the LaPOST Registry, determine the most appropriate LaPOST Registry user role, and how to reset a user password. To access the registry, open your preferred browser and navigate to lapost.vincahealth.com. Your organization registry administrator account and login credentials will be created and communicated to you by the Louisiana Healthcare Quality Forum. Once you sign in, you will be presented with a list of current users for your organization. Click Add New User. The Add User screen appears with required fields indicated by an asterisk. It includes fields you would normally see on a user screen along with the ability to select the role that the user will perform. We will discuss roles on the following screens. The LaPOST Registry utilizes role-based security measures that assign different privileges based on the appointed role. The participating organization's LaPOST Registry Administrator is responsible for assigning workforce members to appropriate roles as well as providing them with their login credentials. There are 4 LaPOST Registry user roles: Signer, Preparer, Viewer, and Uploader. The Signer role is assigned to physicians since physicians are the only providers allowed to sign LaPOST documents. The Preparer role can be assigned to physicians as well as advanced practice professionals, social workers, and nurses. Preparers assist the patient or their personal health care representative in understanding their choices for life-saving medical interventions. Preparers assist the patient or their personal health care representative in completing a LaPOST document as they communicate their decisions. Physicians can prepare, sign, and submit the LaPOST document to the LaPOST Registry. Physicians are also the only users allowed to void a LaPOST document. Non-physicians, however, can prepare the LaPOST document but cannot sign and submit the LaPOST document to the registry. The registry saves the LaPOST document prepared by non-physician preparers in incomplete status until it is signed and submitted to the registry by the patient's physician. The Viewer role is appropriate for clerical staff and clinical providers who do not have the credentials to prepare or sign LaPOST documents, but otherwise have a job requirement to view patient records. For example, the Viewer role may be appropriate for EMS, emergency department providers, nurses, and potentially others depending on their role and job requirements in their organization. The Uploader role is intended for clerical, administrative, and clinical staff who handle and maintain patient medical records. For example, the Uploader role may be appropriate for HIM and medical record staff, nurses, and potentially others depending on their role and job requirements in their organization. Complete the form with as much information as is available to you. Once you have the personal information entered, click the radio button next to Activation Method so that the user will receive instructions on how to activate their account. Click Create User once all the information is entered. Once you click the radio button next to Activation Method, the user will receive an email with a link and instructions on how to activate their account. We will now cover modifying a user and resetting a password. Click in the username or the gear icon for that user. The user details screen will then display. You can now update any information on this screen. In order to reset the password, click the User Management tab. The user details screen provides the status of the user account as well as the opportunity for credentials management. The status button will signify whether a user has a designation of active or inactive. A user will be deemed active when an account is created and set up. A user will be deemed inactive once the account is deactivated. It is important to note that once you deactivate a user, they will lose login access. You cannot revert this action. Deactivate User button. This button removes a user from the system. Remember, deactivation of a user cannot be undone. Reset Password button sends the user an email with instructions on how to reset their password to the email account associated with this user. And Create One-Time Password button generates a one-time use password that you can provide the user via email or over the phone or in person. This password can only be used once and will expire after 14 days. Ensure that you know that you are speaking with the actual user before providing new password. If there are any questions or more information is needed, contact Alan Abshire at aabshire@lhcqf.org or Jody Marsh at jmarsh@lhcqf.org. This concludes the Registry Administrator Training Module.